Hi!
Welcome to Let's Learn. I feel like we should have started with ho, ho, ho.
Ho, 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 ho. Put some jingle bells on in the background. That'll cover us. It's all good.
Welcome to Let's Learn About, the show where we teach you things you didn't need to know, but we're going to teach them to you anyway. And this is the second, actually, of our Christmas episodes. I keep forgetting we've already done one.
Yeah.
But I think it's the first of our like proper festive, jolly Christmas episodes.
You don't know what I'm doing my episode about.
Yeah, that's true. True, I don't.
I can confirm I've made it holly jolly this time.
Okay, cool.
We had our slightly spooky mystery one, and I'm now going to properly drop us in to festive cheer because I think we need it this year. So...
I put my Christmas tree up yesterday.
You did.
Well, I was thinking if I wait till next weekend, it's like really late then. It's like the 5th of December and I don't want to wait till then. And I know that I can't be bothered to do it once I get home from work one day. Like that's too much effort. So I've just done it this weekend, and why not? If anyone's watching on video,
there it is.
Right there. I mean, the window's kind of you can't really see it, but maybe I should try. Maybe I should try and angle myself so that you can. The Christmas tree is in the shot because it's a festive episode.
Yes. See, I have not put anything up, but I have a day off on Friday because I was trying to use up the last of my holiday, and I was like, I'm not working next Saturday. Let's have like a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
But it means that it's the 3rd, so it's only 3 days into December.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put mine up on Friday, and it's going to go right here. So the next set of episodes we record, there will be a Christmas tree right here.
Nice.
And I think that's also going to be the day I pretty much just do a blanket Christmas shop. Just get it all done on one day. Cool. Christmas up, Christmas bought, sorted. Don't have to worry about it for the rest of the month.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm so disorganized this year. Like it just feels like a bit of a weird year this year. Like I know Christmas last year was very weird as well, but for some reason this year just feels even more chaotic.
It does a little bit.
And like usually my sister is really planned in advance. Like she's usually super organized, and like she's started buying things from like the end of October or something.
Oh my god.
Maybe not that, I don't even know. November at least. But she was saying as well that she's done like nothing this year. Like she's everywhere. It just feels so chaotic and all over the place this year.
Yeah. And there's something obviously because it's the last few days as we're recording this of like the Black Friday sales. And I don't know what it is. I don't know whether I'm more on the internet this year or something, but everywhere I look, all I'm seeing is Black Friday sale, Black Friday sale, Black Friday sale.
Every single email in your inbox is Black Friday. And
it's like sod off. I think I bought one thing and it wasn't even a present, and considering I need furniture and there's been lots of places doing Black Friday sale furniture, the only thing I bought was Assassin's Creed Valhalla on PlayStation Store because it went from nearly 50 quid down to 30 quid, and I was like, screw years, I ain't paying 50 quid for a game, but I will have to pay 30 for a game I've been waiting like 2 years to buy. I think that's the only thing I've bought.
Yeah, I haven't bought
not
anything.
For anyone else. So it's mine. This is the last fun thing I am buying for like a long time. That's just for me. So I treated myself, but God, every time I open my emails, it's like 6 emails, all from the same company, all selling shit. It's like, sorry for swearing. Fuck off. No, unsubscribe. Screw you.
Yeah. I've just noticed as well, my sofa in the background makes everything look more festive because it's green.
Yeah, green sofa.
I need to get some red cushions on it.
That would be cool.
Get some festive cushions.
Yeah.
Anyway, typical tangent as we always do, and we haven't even started the episode yet.
Yeah. Always the way.
Yeah. So let's dive straight in with your festive episode.
Indeed. So for anyone that goes through the Christmas index on our website, because some of our like multi-episode ones where we have the same theme, we do an index on our website. So if you just want to access a particular theme or genre, we've made it as easy as possible for you. We've like created a playlist. One of the playlists that we have is our Christmas episode because we've done them every single year since we started. And one of the very first ones, I think it was, which was yours, I believe, was British Christmas traditions.
Yes.
So I've taken that and run with it ever so slightly this
Yeah.
year, and I've opened it up to European Christmas traditions. I
Cool.
was going to do traditions from around the world, but it turns out there's a lot of different traditions. So that's going to be a different episode, probably next year, worldwide Christmas traditions.
Cool.
I'm just focusing it on Europe this time. So Christmas traditions from across Europe, because boy, howdy do people celebrate in different ways around our continent.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've had a little bit of a glimpse at this with Krampus.
Yes.
But again, that wasn't really a tradition. It was more of just like a folk tale.
Alternative Santa.
Yeah.
Alternative Santa who happens to live in sort of like the Germanic Austrian regions across Europe. His name may crop up a little bit later, but for anyone who wants a whole episode on Krampus, it's in the playlist. Go have a look. It's a really fun folk tale / Christmas tradition in that area. And then I suppose, of course, because my geography's crap and I can't remember if Iceland is in Europe or not, I think it is. We also have an episode on the Yule Lads, which is another Christmas folk tale that we covered last year, I believe. Krampus was the year before. Yule Lads was last year.
Yeah.
So now I've just expanded it a little bit. And I thought, let's do a bit of a wide dive into, I think I've got 4 European countries and how they celebrate Christmas a little bit differently.
Nice.
So speaking of Krampus, we're going to head over to Germany to begin with, because they have some pretty cool traditions that they go. One of them is that, you know, the traditional Christmas stocking?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I open our stockings on December 25th. It's what my parents always used to use to keep us kids under control, like first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So my mum has always put ours kind of like on our doors, and we'll just sort of in the morning we'll grab them, and then we've always done it where one of us will go, and because I have one sister, one of us will always like go into the other one's room, and we'll like sit on one of our beds, and we'll just silently open our stockings, and then we'll go into our mum's room, and then she'll be like, "What did Santa put in your stockings?" And then we'll always, when we were kids, we'll always like show her everything, and we'll just like, "We've got this and this and this." But we still do stockings now. Like my mum still does stockings for us, and like even now when we're both almost 27, like we will still do exactly the same thing, where like one of us will go into the other one of our rooms, and we'll sit on our bed and open them, and like we can tell our mum is already awake, but she will literally stay in bed until we've finished opening our stockings. Like we have never changed the tradition, and I love it.
Our traditions changed slightly. We used to have it at the end of our beds, and it was more of a case of, because we would get up early, it would be mum's way of getting an extra 20 minutes or so in bed on Christmas morning, because we would open it in our rooms, and then we'd take them to
that was
like,
probably the same with my mum as well, to be honest.
We don't have them anymore, but because mum used to have like these big sacks that were our Christmas stockings, we now still use the sack. So the tradition's kind of still there, and we hang them up on the fireplace. But what we actually do with them now is that a different member of our family each year on Christmas morning takes the presents out from under the tree and separates them into everyone's sack, and then pass the sack to each individual person. And then we all take it in turns and go around and open a present each. So the actual sack that we used to use is still in our Christmas tradition.
Nice.
We use it slightly differently. Tangent. Now, German Christmas children? No. Children in Germany at Christmas actually open their stockings on the morning of the 6th of December.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because the 6th of December is St. Nicholas Day.
Right.
So known as the Feast of St. Nicholas. This tradition is observed in many European countries, but in particular Germany, regardless of religious denomination. But yeah, they open them on the 6th of December, not the 24th, not the 25th. It's still a stocking, so it's like an empty sock or a sock-shaped bag. And children would leave them outside their door for St. Nicholas to fill. And much like with us, it's filled with small toys and oranges and chocolate coins. They just open them on a different day, like in like a week's time at the time of recording. So the other slight difference is that in Germany, Christmas is actually celebrated on Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day. So So Christmas Eve, or Heilige Abend, as it's very badly pronounced over there. But the Christmas Eve is traditionally the day that the households will do stuff like decorate the tree, prepare the food, spruce up the home. And then in the evening, households will gather around the tree and do all the festiveness. But yeah, they tend to do more of their celebrating on the eve, not the day.
Yeah, I think that's quite a common practice, isn't it? Like, I'm sure a lot of people do a lot of their main celebrating on Christmas Eve. Like, I know a lot of people do like presents on Christmas Eve, and I think I've heard about it being quite a common practice.
Exactly. Speaking of the tree, when it comes to decorating the house, and Charlotte, you have defied German tradition by putting up your tree already.
Yeah.
In Germany, the Christmas tree is actually the very last thing to get decorated, not the first.
Yeah.
So they do the entire house, like literally deck the halls throughout all December, but they wait to decorate the tree until the 24th. Obviously, I'm going to put a caveat across all these traditions as time has changed and different families do different things. This is not a blanket overall, all Germans do this. But traditionally, they do the Christmas tree decorating on the 24th of December after they have done the rest of the household.
Right.
One thing they do also still have, which we across the UK do, they have Advent as well, same as us. They do it slightly differently though. They have Advent wreaths as opposed to Advent presents or, you know, chocolates and stuff like that. They call it Adventskrantz. And it was actually a tradition started by German Lutherans in the 16th century. And it's a wreath. It's literally just a wreath. So a circle thing with, you know, evergreens and stuff like that, with 4 candles embedded in them. And it's usually covered in like cones and berries and dried flowers and festive ornaments. They will bring the wreath out at the beginning of December, put it on like a table. And then on each Sunday, like the 4 Sundays of the month, they will light another candle. And then on and then actually on Christmas Day, there's a final candle. So the candles going around the edge for the 4 Sundays are usually like red. And then there'll be one in the middle that's white, and they light that one on Christmas Day.
So we actually have an Advent wreath in work.
Oh, do you?
Because for context, I work in a Catholic school. I'm not religious myself, but I work in a Catholic school, and I've been, over the past couple of weeks, I've been helping to film like a virtual carol service. They did it last year as well, and it's usually in person where they have like students to do readings and things, but obviously past couple of years in-person events aren't a thing, especially within schools. So I've been helping to sort of record this virtual carol service, and they get we basically get some of the kids in to do like Bible readings, and then some of them are doing like songs, and they have like musical pieces if they play instruments and things. But in between, because we like film all the bits separately, and then I'm going to edit it all together. In between some of the readings and things, they get one of the kids to come out and light one of the candles on the Advent wreath.
Cool.
So it starts with they do the first one, and then someone comes along and does the second, and like between each sort of piece, by the end of the thing, when like I think one of the reverends or one of the governors or something is going to come and do like a final reading. By the time he does that, the whole Advent wreath is lit.
That's cute.
And that's exactly the same as how you just described. It's four red candles on each of the corners,
with a white candle,
and then a big white candle in the middle, and the white candle is the last one to be lit just before like the reverend does his reading at the end.
That's really cool.
So as soon as you said Advent wreath, I was just like, why does this ring a bell? This. And then when he mentioned the candles, I was like, yeah, that's what we do in work.
There we go.
Yeah. So now, it's quite nice.
It's nice when other countries' traditions end up in your own. It's a really nice sort of little mix, and sort of seeing how in many respects the celebrating is quite similar, even if the ways in which we do it are slightly different. So that's really cute. Speaking, a nice little segue, by the way, of small children doing singings and stuff. One of the things they do in Germany is they host what they call Stern singers. which translates to star singers. And it's when young children dress up as the three wise men and they go and visit houses in their neighborhood with like a star on a big rod. So like it's these small children following the star.
So cute.
And they will go and sing carols to go spread all the good cheer. That is also a very Catholic tradition. And it's also actually found in Austria as well as Germany. But yeah, just this image of these cute children sort of like with a big stick with a star on it going, oh, come all ye faithful.
Cute.
It's so cute. Another big one is obviously one of the big UK favourites, even though I hate the damn stuff. But anyway, fruitcake.
Also not a fan.
Not a fan, no. But the German equivalent, essentially, is Stollen.
Yes.
And it's one of my favourite parts of German tradition. I love Stollen. It's amazing. But it is very similar to ours. It's fruit breads. As opposed fruit cake, very much made up of the same stuff. So it's got like nuts and spices and candied fruit and powdered sugar. But it is like a famous Christmas cake. And if you go to somewhere like Lidl's or Aldi, I've already spotted it already. It's already there. But if you have not tried Stollen, oh my God, listeners, have it this year. It is so good.
And I think my mum always gets them in for my stepdad, because he'll just eat like anything. So like fruit cake he'll eat, but we don't tend to get fruit cake because none of us really eat it apart from him. But I think like a couple of years ago, for their honeymoon when they got married, they went to Vienna. And when they were there, they had like traditional Stollen, because it's very sort of even though it's not Germany, like it's still Austria. I think a lot of the traditions are quite similar in like Germany and Austria. And since then, I think she makes sure that there's some in every Christmas for him, because so it's a regular thing in our house. But I don't think I've ever really tried it.
Try it this year. It's so good. You can get it in like mini bite-sized pieces. Like they'll sell them in like, they're so good. I think the only person in my household that eats Christmas is like my mum and my stepdad. So they buy like the individual tiny ones that you can put in the microwave and like stab the plastic and then steam it. And but they're about the only ones that eat it. The rest of us like no. And then another really cool little tradition, which we don't actually have really over here at all, is hand-carved wooden nutcracker figures, commonly resembling toy soldiers. Is a very common German Christmas tradition, because according to their folklore, nutcrackers were given as good luck keepsakes for families to protect their home.
I actually have one on my Christmas tree.
Oh, no
way. Hang on. Let me grab it while I'm here.
Go on, go get it. So while Charlotte's just going to go get it, basically, they thought that the nutcrackers would watch over the family and keep evil spirits and danger at bay. But they're really cute, especially the handcrafted painted wooden ones. They're beautiful to look at. They're so good. There he is. They always tend to have that mustache, I find. But
so it's just like I just have it as like a little tree decoration.
Oh, that's so cute. But they protect the family and protect the home. They keep danger away. So after our little foray into Germany, I thought we'd sort of hop over ever so slightly and go to France. So one big thing that sort of translates across the board is that the French do Advent. So that's a similarity. One thing that I would quite like to try one day is something called Le Réveillon. Sorry if I've mispronounced that. My pronunciation is terrible. But it is the name of the French Christmas Eve meal that they have, which is like a massive elongated feast. Essentially. So the name actually comes from the verb réveiller, which means to wake up or revive. A lot of families tend to now have this on Christmas Day, but traditionally it is a Christmas Eve thing. Families would sit down together to celebrate Christmas and enjoy festive French food and wines. And what they would do, the reason this is such a big thing, is because they would take forever to eat this meal. Like they really draw it out. And like, this thing can go up to like 6 hours worth of eating. It's that long. They
Sounds
really
amazing.
put on the spectacle. It does sound incredible. But
sounds like my dream. I want to just eat for 6 hours.
Eat for 6 hours. It sounds like a challenge, but I would be happy to accept it. They also have some very interesting traditional Christmas foods, which we don't necessarily have over here.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, depending on the region, this may change, but some of the traditional ones are smoked salmon. They have oysters with bran bread. Foie gras is a big one out there. I mean, the French and foie gras in general, but that's a big Christmas staple. For anyone who doesn't know, it's goose or duck liver pate is foie gras. Speaking of goose, actual goose. So as opposed to turkey or chicken, they tend to go for goose. Capon or turkey stuffed with chestnuts, and servings of vegetables such as green beans cooked with garlic and butter, and Provençal herb sautéed potatoes.
I'm so hungry.
I know, both of us are recording this. We have not eaten yet today, and I'm about to walk you through some incredible food.
I was just saying before this episode that my stomach was rumbling.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just so hungry, but I'm just gonna go and eat something rubbish because I have no food in my house.
I'm not about to make your life any better, because they always finish this feast with an amazing La Bouchée de Noël, which is a Yule log, which is a sponge cake decorated to look like a log. I'm sure many people have experienced this. So they always end their meals with this Yule log. And then another pudding related tradition that they have is something called Les 13 desserts, so 13 desserts. It's a Provençal French Christmas tradition. And it sounds like a challenge, especially after such a big meal. But they make 13 desserts for their Christmas feast.
Yeah.
Because in France, it symbolizes Christ and the 12 apostles at the Last Supper.
Okay, right.
And I mean, these desserts can range from anything from like fruits, nuts, sweets, dried figs, almonds, dried grapes. But there is a cake which always makes an appearance, called Pompe la Ruelle. And everyone has to taste each dessert in order to have good luck for the following year. I'm very hungry.
I know.
Another very religious thing they tend to do is in their table decorations, you'll often find that they will put 3 candlesticks on their tables. And it's supposed to represent the Trinity, so the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The other thing they also do is that they French knot the ends of the tablecloth so that the devil can't get in under the table.
What would you do under the table?
I don't know, but I wouldn't like to know.
No.
Get out.
Yeah.
The 6th of December also makes a bit of an appearance again. The 6th of December in France, again, St. Nicholas Day. So much like in Germany, it is also St. Nicholas Day in France. But Le Père Noël, that is the day that he brings small gifts and sweets to all the children. And they do so, especially in northern France. They put their shoes next to the fireplace. I think that's quite a common one. I've certainly heard of it before. But they'll put their shoes next to the fireplace, and in the morning, it's filled with sweets and chocolates and little toys.
So I guess similar to doing the stockings then, only just doing their shoes instead.
December. I think there's another place that they do it with clogs. I've definitely seen that. So that's a very similar tradition. But Le Père Noël is not the only Christmas figure that appears for the French. There is also La Père Fouettard, otherwise known as Father Spanker.
What?
Yeah, he is affectionately known as the Christmas boogeyman, and he is St. Nicholas's partner and helper. And he is the one who decides if the kids have been naughty or nice that year. And he is the one that goes around literally spanking badly behaved children. So the ones that won't get the sweets and presents in their shoes, he follows up behind and spanks them.
Again, comes back to Krampus.
I know, but it's the fact his name is Father Spanker.
Love it.
Wow. Okay.
Not being subtle with the name there.
Not being subtle at all. The 6th again comes into play, but not the 6th of December with this next tradition. The 6th of January is called La Fête des Roses. Again, apologies for the pronunciation. But that is the day to celebrate the arrival of the three kings. So anyone who knows their nativity, the three kings are the ones that gift the gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh.
Yeah.
And in France, some places do street processions of the three kings for local towns and villages to watch on the 6th of January.
Nice.
Now, this next one is the last one for our French category. It's called La Galette des Rois. So again, Rois for kings. There is something that they do in France called the King's Cake, which they use to celebrate the Epiphany in France. Now, there are 3 versions of this cake, and the most popular one consists of a flaky puff pastry in layers with a center of frangipane or apple. There is also a version called a sablé galette, which is a type of sweet crust pastry with brioche cake and candied fruits. I'm saying that it's off the back of Great British Bake Off just having finished. So now I'm like, they've got to make some of these at some point. And these are usually, all these cakes are usually sold in special bags with a paper crown on it. And the whole thing about it is that there is hidden in one of these cakes something called the fièvre, which is like a small figure or a bean hidden in a piece of the cake. And traditionally, the youngest member of the family is the one that distributes all the cakes so that no one knows which one this little fièvre is hidden in. But the person who literally bites into it and finds it wins, essentially. And again, this in slightly different practices will appear in another country later on. But apparently a fun thing that you can do is bite into a bean while you're trying to eat some cake.
Wow.
France is not the only country that likes to extend its Christmas celebrations. We're going to move on to Italy next. And one of the best Italian Christmas traditions is that they celebrate Christmas for a lot longer than a lot of other countries. Their festive season officially starts on December the 8th. Which is celebrated with the feast day of the Immaculate Conception. And it's where the families set up their Christmas trees and their cribs for the nativity set. So from the 8th of December, they celebrate Christmas all the way up to January the 6th, which is the 12th day of Christmas. And that is the one that's known as the Epiphany. And it's the one where the three kings show up. So basically all the following traditions basically lasts for almost the course of an entire month. As opposed to a lot of places that literally start on like the 23rd and then ends on like the 26th, 27th. Which, you know, hell, could you imagine if you got like an entire month off work just to celebrate Christmas?
Man. That'd be amazing.
Holy crap, that would be awesome. The whole country would fall apart, I think, if England ever tried to do that. Oh dear. One actually interesting Christmas tradition I found from Italy is that they don't eat meat on Christmas Eve. Because Christmas Eve is known as La Vigilia. Instead, they eat a variety of fish dishes instead. And in some places, this can be like up to 7 courses worth of seafood in one evening. So the whole point of this is that typically on the day and night before any religious celebration, Italians are supposed to eat lean to purify their body ahead of the holidays. So like in Rome, they'll enjoy like a local dish. It's called pezzezzi, which is artichokes, zucchini, and broccoli fried just together. But in Naples, they'll go for like a seafood and broccoli saute mix, which sounds quite delicious, actually.
It does.
The other thing that they do is obviously pasta becomes a very big thing that they eat on Christmas Eve. And each region will have like a specific pasta dish that they'll tend to go towards on Christmas Eve. So if you go to like Lombardy, they'll eat lasagna, which is actually filled with anchovies. So to bring that fish in. And again, Naples, you are probably more likely to be served vermicelli with mussels or clams. Which again, if I like seafood, sounds delicious. Now, of course, with it being Italy and it's the home of the Vatican City and stuff like that, very big thing that they do is midnight mass at the Vatican. So the Pope has his big shindig on Christmas Eve as well as on Christmas Day. The thing is, though, even though it's called midnight mass, it actually happens at 9:30 in the evening. And it's completely free to attend, apparently.
Yeah.
It's also televised. So if for any reason you can't go, and I suppose in the current conditions, it's probably safer not to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, for anyone who can't get up to the Basilica to see the Pope, you can watch it on TV. They're also very big into their skiing at Christmas. So while some people are attending midnight mass or 9:30 mass on Christmas Eve, a lot of people actually choose to go skiing either on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, to the point where in northern Italy, people will ski down the mountains at midnight carrying torches as like a festive celebration.
Wow. Yeah.
I would pay good money to go see a whole bunch of people on skis torching their way down the side of a mountain. That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Another really cool one, and one that's shocked me a little bit. When you think of Italy, would you ever think of bagpipes?
No,
nor did I. But apparently in many Italian cities, including Rome of all places, you can find men playing bagpipes in squares right across the towns.
Yeah.
These people are known as Zampagnari, and they dress like shepherds because, as is tradition, it was the shepherds that made the journey from their mountain homes to the piazzas to earn extra money.
Yeah.
And they used to do this by playing bagpipes to anyone that would listen. And of course, these shepherds represent the shepherds that went to go see Jesus on the night of his birth. But one thing that I didn't realize from the good old nativity is that apparently these shepherds that went and visited Jesus played the bagpipes for him. Did
nice
not
and
know
soothing.
this. Nice and soothing for a small child. But this tradition actually dates all the way back to the Roman times.
Yeah.
And apparently is really good fun to see, because these pipers nowadays will wear like short breeches with leather leggings and like a sheepskin vest with a woolly cloak. Like they proper get their shepherd on, and they put like a peak cap on and everything. But I just never pictured Italians playing the bagpipes.
No.
Ever.
No.
I also did not know that this was in the nativity story, but there we go. Going back to Santa alternatives, Italy has its own Santa alternative, and she's a lady, would you know? So on January the 6th, so the end of the Christmas celebrations for Italians, the people are visited by La Befana, which literally translates to the good witch.
Yeah.
Italy has a Christmas witch.
Nice. Love it.
Which is actually how I started doing the research for this whole thing. I heard the story of the Christmas witch and was like, I have to find out about this. But as is the case with many things, it wasn't long enough to create its own episode. So that's how I ended up looking into Christmas traditions, and here we are.
Yeah.
But as legend would have it, the 6th of January is the date that she would fly around on her broomstick and fill the stockings of children with candy for those who were on the good list, and coal for children that were on the naughty list. But she didn't stop there. She didn't just fly around on her broom. She was actually known as a really good housekeeper. Yeah. And it said that it's her broom and the act of sweeping things away that would sweep away the problems of the previous year and leave families with a fresh slate to go through to the year ahead. Yeah. And according to tales, it's actually her dedication to her housework that stopped her from venturing out with the 3 kings on the nights they went off in search for the baby Jesus.
Wow. So there could have been a witch in the...
There could have been a witch in the Christmas story. Yes. Wow. Yeah, basically the 3 kings, upon going to find the baby Jesus, needed to stop somewhere for the night. And they ended up going to her house, and she let them in and she fed them and she looked after them. And for her hospitality, they said, come with us. We're off to go see the baby Jesus. And she was like, nah, mate, I've got too much housework to do. Sorry. So they went off without her. And apparently she then felt guilty for not going with them. So she like packed her bag with a load of sweets and stuff and went off to follow what she thought was the same star that the 3 kings were after. But she got lost and she couldn't find them.
Oh no.
So in recompense or something like that, she now goes and gives it all to the children because she couldn't make it to the baby Jesus.
Right.
Yeah, so we missed out on a Christmas witch in the nativity set.
Damn it.
And
bagpipes.
Damn it all. So yeah, that is Italy. And then I thought we would round off our trip across Europe, Santa styley, to Spain, because who doesn't love Spain? Speaking of the three kings, in Spain, or in Spanish tradition, should I say, Santa Claus isn't the one that appears to give the children presents.
Right.
It's actually the three kings.
Okay.
Or the three wise men, but they're known as Reyes Magos, and they don't come on December the 25th. They come on January the 6th, because as we've learned from the other ones, that is when the wise kings got to Jesus.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't open their gifts until January the 6th, the day of Epiphany. They don't get a December 20th. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure nowadays, again, probably a lot of Spanish families do still have December 25th, but traditionally they don't open their presents until the 6th of January.
Yeah.
Now, when the Reyes come, they have a massive parade party in the streets of Spain. People dress up as the three wise men. They ride on top of floats. They throw like candy or sweets to all the children and all the people on the streets. And it is just this massive, like pre-holiday festive season that we have over here, styly float parade with lights. And it's known as La Cabalgata de los Reyes Magos. And it's just this massive street party.
Nice.
And and they will sing like traditional Spanish songs to their neighbors, and it's just a big old festive season. But yeah, they will still do something on the 25th of December, but traditionally 6th of January. Another big thing that I didn't expect Italy to do sort of in their festive period is the Spanish Christmas lottery. Is apparently a massive thing in Spain, and it's one of the biggest lottery. The actual lottery drawing closest to Christmas is the biggest in the world, apparently, to the point where between all the people who take part in it in Spain will pay out more than 2 billion euros every year that they have done it. Yeah, so it's colloquially known as El Gordo, which is translated to the fat one, which is amazing. But almost everyone in the country plays. Like, people will pool in with their friends and their co-workers, and they'll buy like a share in like a single ticket, to the point where there was actually a town in Spain where everyone bar one person bought a share in this ticket, and they won. And only one person did not get a portion of the proceeds. I would be miffed as hell if I was that person.
How much would they be regretting that?
I know, especially since it was like 900 million or something like that they won that year. It's crazy. Don't know how that then splits down when, you know, it's an entire town of people, but you know, still better than a kick in the teeth. But the results are usually announced on the morning of December 22nd, and it is like a live across the nation drawing, like everyone watches it.
That's cool.
And as each number is chosen, a choir of school children sing the number aloud as it gets announced. Oh, I'd love to watch it. Like, could you imagine the lottery being one of the biggest parts of your Christmas festive season?
Yeah, that's cool. Better than the Queen's speech.
See, I quite like Queenie's speech. That's a big tradition in my household. It doesn't matter what time we start eating. If we're still eating at 3 o'clock, we stop, we watch the Queen's speech, and then we carry on. But yeah, I would quite like to take part in the fat one. That sounds pretty cool. Going back to food, Spain is also another country that participates in massive holiday feasts. In particular, they are quite partial to the multi-course meals. And it all starts on Christmas Eve, which ends up with like an indulgent dinner full of like tapas and soup and seafood and cured meats and roasts. They'll then have a light breakfast the next morning, because Christmas Day lunch is when the fun really starts. And then a week later, they do it again for New Year's Eve and for New Year's Day. And then they'll do it again for January the 6th, the Three Kings Day. So if you want to eat like absolute royalty, go to Spain, because you'll be able to do it for like 5 days in the course of 3 weeks. Oh, yes.
Amazing.
Oh, so full. So very, very full. And of course, what is a Christmas meal without Christmas dessert. Roscon de Reyes, which is on the eve of the Epiphany, so the eve of January the 5th, is much like with the Italian version, the king's cake. So we're back to the king's cake. This, however, is more of like a sweet brioche stuffed with pastry cream and topped with candied fruit. And it's like donut shaped.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to represent the crown that the three wise men wear.
Yeah.
And again, they chuck like either a little, well, in this case, it's not a bean. It's a small ceramic toy, which traditionally is usually shaped like baby Jesus. And if you are the lucky one, or in my eyes, the unlucky one, because could you imagine losing a tooth to a small ceramic toy that's in your food?
Like accidentally swallowing it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Could you imagine if you accidentally, everyone's like, we can't find him. And you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think I swallowed him.
Yeah.
But apparently if you are the lucky one to chomp down on the toy, you will get good luck for the whole of the next year. But they also hide a little bean. The little bean has returned. So they'll hide ceramic baby Jesus in one.
Yeah.
They'll also hide a little bean in another. If you are the unlucky one to find the one with the bean, you have to pay for the cake the next year.
Oh no.
I suppose it's one way to share the wealth. It's like everyone takes it in turns. Whoever eats the bean, your turn.
Unless you get it every single year and you're just really unlucky.
Could you imagine if you were that person? Damn it! That is some bad luck.
Yeah.
Not to be outdone, Catalonia also has its own traditions. And one of the really cool ones I found was that each December, Catalan families will decorate a wooden log with faces and legs. And it's kept in their house or garden and is covered with a blanket to keep it from getting cold.
Yeah.
And this log is called Caja Tio, which translates as pooping log.
Right.
There is a reason why it's called pooping log, okay?
Yeah.
I am going to tell you. So on Christmas Day, the children of the family would then gather around the log and start beating it with sticks.
Yeah.
Fun Christmas Day activity. Yeah. And while they whack the log, they sing a song asking the log to poop out sweets for them to eat that day.
Yeah.
Once the song is finished, they pull back the blanket and discover a treasure trove of hidden sweets that has been placed under the blanket all around the log. Yeah. So it's like a Christmas piñata, but a log.
Yeah, love it.
That poops out sweets. It's really cute. Yeah. It's slightly weird.
Yeah.
Another thing they're really into in Spain is a bit of April 1st festivity in amongst all their Christmas traditions. The Spanish like to pull pranks on December 28th.
Yeah.
It's called La Dia de los Santos Inocentes. And yeah, it's basically their April Fool's Day is December 28th. They will pull pranks on each other.
Yeah.
To the point where if you go to the Christmas markets in like Madrid, even the vendors will sell like small prank kit gifts to the people who go to attend the market. And in Alicante, of all places, they really up the ante. What they actually also incorporate is a traditional Spanish festivity called Els Enfarentas, I think it's pronounced, which is where they throw eggs and flour at one another in the streets. The ultimate prank.
Yeah.
Turn you into cake.
Yeah.
Which sounds like one of those really cool like color runs for Diwali, but with like baking implements. Oh, it's great.
I don't know if I'd fancy being covered in egg.
No, the flour I could get behind. The egg might be another. Although, like, if you get it in your hair, it could be like a really nice mask or something.
Yeah. Rub it into your skin.
Yeah. What was one of the other things that they do? Oh yeah. Now I know I said Santa isn't really a thing in Spain. Traditionally, Santa is not. He does get included in some things though. And one of the things is the Santa Claus race, otherwise known as La Carrera de Papa Noel.
Yeah.
And it's a charity run that they hold in Madrid. And basically, people dress up as Santa and they race through the streets of Madrid city centre.
Yeah.
And all the proceeds of the race go to charity. Basically, the Spanish Red Cross gets a lot of people to run through the streets of Madrid dressed as Santa, and they all raise money, which is really cool. And finally, I thought we better go to Andalusia, because you cannot talk of Spain without going to Andalusia. They have a Christmas tradition in the south of Spain involving giant bonfires. So we're bringing bonfire night into the mix on top of everything else. So in Andalusia, in Granada, in Yen, they host Hogueras de Navidad, which is the Christmas bonfires. It takes place on the winter solstice, which is a few days before Christmas. And apparently people will jump over the flames to bring good health for the following year.
Yeah. Unless you land in it, which
unless
you
land
lucky.
in it.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Wouldn't be very healthy.
No. So just to end all of these Christmas traditions with some traditional fire jumping. Nice. So yeah, if any of you guys celebrate like in other places around the world, I know we have started getting more people who listen to this podcast in different places. But if you're from Europe and you do any of these traditions, or if there's a tradition, because there were so many, I had to cherry pick, because otherwise this episode would be like several hours long. But if you celebrate a particular tradition that I haven't included in this list, let us know, because there were so many cool ones that I could have covered. And it's really interesting to see how different places, even in our own continent, celebrate so differently. Like the amount of days that people celebrate on that isn't like the traditional 24th, 25th here in the UK is nuts. But yeah, I would totally be down for a month long, like just shut down, just like, not doing anything till January the 6th, not doing it.
And feasts.
Oh, so much food. I'm very hungry. My stomach is growling. I'm sorry if anyone can hear it over the mic. Hungry. But yeah, all the notes for this episode will be linked in the notes section on our website. They will cover a few more of the Christmas traditions that I researched.
Cool.
If anyone wants to get in contact with us at all, we are on social media, Instagram and Twitter at LearnaboutPod. You can, this is one we don't often say, you can rate and review our podcast episodes. If you want to give us 5 stars, that would be lovely. Just let us know what you like about this episode. If what you like about any of our episodes, that would be really cool. And we have a contact form on our website, which is learnaboutpod.com, if you want to get in touch. And if you want to come on the show, come on the show. We would love to have you.
Yes, we would. You can also support us on Patreon for £2 a month. You can get early episodes, bonus episodes twice a month, Tangent Tuesday episodes every week, video episodes where we share some recommendations and kind of let you in on behind the scenes of the podcast. We will send you a postcard that we have written ourselves and put in the post to your house. I think that's
we give them little shout outs.
Little shout outs in every episode that'll be at the end of this episode, so stay tuned. And just anything else that we think of, and it's only £2 a month, so that's patreon.com/learnaboutpod. As we said at the beginning, if you want more festive episodes to lead you up to Christmas Day itself, or whenever you celebrate, then you can go to the website, go to the index and look at our Christmas section, and there's a huge list of Christmassy episodes there for you to listen to. If you want to learn more about traditions, about festive folklore, all sorts of stuff, then head there and you can find all of our Christmas episodes in one place. We have one more Christmas episode to go this year.
How have we only got one more episode?
It's because we're only doing like one each this time.
True, because we had our guest episodes.
Usually I think we do like 2 each. But yeah, it feels really quick. Like it's still November and we've only got one episode left to record.
Oh my god!
But yeah, that'll be mine next week. And just as a little hint, this episode you mentioned Saint Nicholas a lot, so that is a little hint for my next episode is Saint Nicholas. So yes, I'm very excited. If you're over on Patreon, you probably already know what the episode's going to be. So yes, I hope you look forward to that. Hope you enjoyed this one and learned something new that you didn't know before, because that's why we're here.
It's the name of the game.
Yes, and we will see you next week for our final festive episode of 2021.
See you next week.
Bye.